competitive strategies. To be successful in today's cutthroat competitive world, every business organization has the prerequisite to become competitor-oriented. It is imperative for businesses to pursue the right competitive strategy, avoid strengths of its competitors, and look for weak points in their positions and then launch marketing attacks against those weak points. In this lesson, we discuss about the dynamics of competitive strategies. It follows from the previous slide that after studying this lesson, you should be able to industry life cycle stage and company's marketing strategy. Strategic mapping. Industry life cycle is a useful concept in the selection of competitive strategies at business level. Just as a person is born, grows, matures, and eventually experiences decline and ultimately death, so too do industries. The stages are the same for all industries, yet industries cycle through the stages in various lengths of time. Even within the same industry, various firms may be at different life cycle stages. Strategies of a firm as well as of competitors vary depending on the stage of the life cycle. Some industries even find new uses for declining products, thus extending the life cycle. Others send products abroad in hopes of extending their life. The figure here shows a typical industry life cycle. In the emerging stage, products are unfamiliar to consumers. Market segments are not well defined. Product features are not clearly specified. This stage involves low sales growth, rapid technological change, operating losses, and the need for high investment to finance operations. Since there are few players and not much growth, competition tends to be low. Differentiation is the appropriate strategy at this stage. Firms need to make process improvements to cut prices and consistently offer quality products. The second stage of the industry life cycle is growth stage. During this stage, sales and profits increase. This attracts other competitors who also want to benefit. To counteract this, the firm has to build consumer preferences for specific brands. This requires strong brand recognition, differentiated products, and financial resources. The firm should stimulate selective demand. Hofer and Kendall suggest the following 5 strategic initiatives during growth stage. 1. Concentrate on quality. 2. Focus on tapping new market segments. 3. Search for new distribution channels. 4. Develop innovative promotional techniques. 5. Concentrate on the proper timing for reducing prices to tap additional customers. The third stage of industry life cycle is the maturity stage. Industries are called mature when their growth rate slows down. Aggregate industry demand begins to slow down and markets become saturated. So direct competition becomes predominant. At the same time, rivalry among existing competitors increases because there is often a fierce price competition to gain market share. Consumers become price sensitive as they get a greater understanding of the product. Efficient manufacturing operations and process engineering become more important for keeping costs low. Therefore, firms need to follow both differentiation and cost leadership strategies during growth stage. When a product enters the decline stage, the sales and profits decline, and at the same time, competitors may start drastically cutting their prices to raise cash and remain solvent in the short run. This further intensifies competition. Generally, in the decline stage, a firm's strategic actions depend on the actions of the rivals. Overall cost leadership and focus are the preferred strategies in the decline stage. This industry life cycle approach has its own limitations. 1. The duration of each stage varies widely across industries. 2. Many industries do not pass through all these stages. 3. It is difficult to determine in actual practice at what stage of the life cycle an industry is. 4. Industries may have more than one life cycle due to innovation and renewal. 5. Maturity stage of an industry can be followed by a stage of rapid growth if consumer tastes change, technological changes take place, or new developments occur in general environment. 6. Decline can be reversed by strategies that lead to turnaround and rejuvenation. Thus, the industry life cycle can be considered at best a useful shortcut to think about strategies in different industry contexts. A strategy map is a visual representation of the strategy of an organization. It illustrates how the organization plans to achieve its mission and vision by means of a linked chain of continuous movements. The concept of strategy maps was introduced to the business world in 2001 by Kaplan and Norton as a means to illustrate and elaborate their earlier concept, the Balanced Scorecard. The Balanced Scorecard, BSC, is a strategic performance management tool for measuring whether the smaller scale operational activities of a company are aligned with its larger scale objectives in terms of vision and strategy. The Balanced Scorecard is a framework, or what can be best characterized as a strategic management system that claims to incorporate all quantitative and abstract measures of true importance to the enterprise. 4 general perspectives have been proposed by the Balanced Scorecard: financial perspective, customer perspective, internal process perspective, innovation and learning perspective. Financial perspective examines if the company's implementation and execution of its strategy are contributing to the bottom line improvement of the company. It represents the long-term strategic objectives of the organization, and thus it incorporates the tangible outcomes of the strategy in traditional financial terms. The customer perspective defines the value proposition that the organization will apply to satisfy customers and thus generate more sales to the most desired customer groups. The measures that are selected for the customer perspective should measure both the value that is delivered to the customer, which may involve time, quality, performance, and service, and cost, and the outcomes that come as a result of this value proposition. The internal process perspective is concerned with the processes that create and deliver the customer value proposition. It focuses on all the activities and key processes required in order for the company to excel at providing the value expected by the customers both productively and efficiently. The innovation and learning perspective is the foundation of any strategy and focuses on the intangible assets of an organization, mainly on the internal skills and capabilities that are required to support the value-creating internal processes. Now let us check if we have understood the various concepts discussed in this lesson clearly. The Balanced Scorecard provides managers with the instrumentation they need to navigate to future competitive success. True or false? True. The strategy design illustrates the long-term game plan. True or false? False. The customer perspective examines if the company's implementation and execution of its strategy are contributing to the bottom line improvement of the company. True or false? False. Before we end, let us briefly revise what we have studied till so far. Competitive strategy can be defined as a concept relating to the different stages an industry will go through from the first product entry to its eventual decline. There are typically 5 stages in the industry life cycle. They are defined as early stages phase, innovation phase, cost or shakeout phase, maturity, and decline.